Hey party people, welcome back to So Square I'm Cubed. I'm Jamie. Hello. Today's video is a Randonautica trip, but it is a little bit different, so let me explain. I wanted to really challenge myself with Randonautica and do something new and fun, and I thought, gosh, what is harder than trying to find your way around somewhere you don't know than trying to find your way around somewhere you don't know without using GPS? Some of these places I really didn't know where they were, and honestly it would be impossible to find your Randonautica destination without a GPS, so I tweaked it a little bit, and I decided I was going to get myself lost intentionally with Randonautica and find my way home without using my phone, without using any GPS of any kind. And let's be honest, we all know that your girl is really dumb, and sometimes I have to use my GPS to go down the street. So I thought it would be really fun, and I laid out my rules as follows. Rule number 1, you can select a new location with Randonautica when you want and however many times you want. Rule number 2, unless the destination is a store or a shop, remain in your vehicle. Rule number 3, once you feel sufficiently lost, without using your phone or GPS, find your way back home. Rule number 4, phones and electronic devices must be fully charged before leaving the house in case of emergency. And rule number 5, if you feel you can't make it home without GPS, use the GPS because safety is more important than a dumb challenge. If you did watch Tuesday's video, you know I had so much trouble with the footage from this trip. I lost it, part of it got corrupted. Some of my video files were looping audio over and over again while stuck on a static image, so there's more evidence that I'm cursed by Randonautica if you didn't believe me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's totally cool. I'll go through it a little bit here, but if you want the full juicy details, go and watch my Randonautica curse video. I will have it linked above or below. Please go watch it. I will give you some time. Go ahead and pause this and come back when you're ready. All right, you watched it? Good? Cool, let's continue. Before we jump into the meat and the potatoes of the video, I did want to let you guys know that right now 46% of my views come from viewers like you who aren't subscribed. Now I don't have any problem with lurkers, I'm a lurker myself sometimes, but if you are lurking and you're not subscribed, you might miss out on some videos that you will really enjoy, including more Randonautica videos. So all that being said, go ahead and scroll down below, click that little subscribe button, and while you're at it, just for safety, go ahead and click the notification bell as well so you don't miss any of my videos. Also, I absolutely love making videos for you guys, but as you know, I do work a 40-hour-a-week job. However, if you would like to support me so that I can maybe take some time off to make more content for you, you can also find me down below on Patreon and Ko-fi. I would really appreciate the support. Oh, and lastly, don't forget to comment down below. Have you ever gotten lost somewhere where you couldn't use your GPS? Okay, so unfortunately, when I was transferring my files, one of the videos that did get corrupted was my introduction as to what I was doing. That also included my first location, so I'll be describing a little bit more of that here. And you're kind of gonna see me jump in, which is like present me, and then past me, kind of interspersed throughout this whole thing. The first location that Randonautica wanted me to go to was this very dense kind of woodsy area. I'll put something up on the screen right here. It's super beautiful in the daytime. I think they're actually thinking about building a library over there. Now the unfortunate thing is there's nowhere really to park to go explore that woodsy area, but also it was incredibly dark, incredibly cold, and raining pretty hard. Because of all those, I definitely didn't want to park and walk. But what I didn't know about this little woodsy area is that there's a creek that runs right in the middle of it. You can see it on the map here, and it actually goes for miles and miles outside of town. And what I also didn't know is that this creek is used as a natural watershed to keep areas from flooding. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, it was probably raining so hard that it made this entire creek flood. But I have seen it in my experience that sometimes when a creek is flooded, you might not know until you're already in it. This first location is a really good example of why you should be very careful while you're randonauting. Had I gotten out of my vehicle and explored that woodsy area, not knowing that there was a creek, I could have been in danger, I could have slipped and fallen into a creek and had no one there to save me. And I'm not saying like, oh, it's 100 feet deep and there's sharks and lake monsters in it, but dressed the way I was dressed, not being expected to swim, especially when it's 40 degrees out, could have been a disaster. Now, one of the other reasons I didn't stop is that my tire pressure light came on, and that is where I will let past me take it away. Okay, so my legitimate worst nightmare is being stranded somewhere with a flat tire waiting for someone to help me. Literally the second I started driving, look what came on. That's my low tire gauge. And I understand that it's really cold out, but it was really cold a few weeks ago, so they shouldn't be having that pressure change. I'm gonna get out right now and check the tire pressure. At the very least, as long as I don't go on a highway and I don't go super far away, I'll still be fine. My tire is just fine. It must just be the weather change. Let's try this one more time. And this time I'll actually ask for something. Show me something safe but interesting. I thought it would give me better luck, but now I'm not so sure. That's definitely somewhere I've never been before. Let's go check it out. I don't know where that is, so maybe we'll get lost. I don't know, I hope so. So here's the thing. I am somewhere I've never been before, which is really cool. It has a lot of really awesome houses, lots of Christmas lights, but I still know exactly where I am and how to get home. So I guess I'm gonna try this one more time, see if I can get really, really lost. I'm in a like residential area now, so I'm not gonna turn my light on because like I feel creepy. What I don't understand is I have the biggest radius right now and it still won't take me anywhere crazy, you know? Now, the actual address Randonautica was taking me to was this house right here. When I was there, I noticed some very not so nice signs in the front of their yard, and I didn't want to stick around, especially knowing that people in Texas are very protective of their property and are very likely to own a gun. This little area was in a cul-de-sac, so I started to turn around. And as I was turning around, I passed another side street. I noticed some headlights behind me. They started following me. I was like, you know, whatever. It's a residential neighborhood. They're probably trying to get back to the main road. But you guys also really, really know me. I am incredibly paranoid about cars following me. It really freaks me out ever since I had someone follow me home from work at 3 in the morning, and I'm still kind of scarred from it to this day. The directions to my third location had me taking a lot of different turns, and that was totally fine, except all of those were after this very long straightaway. So while on the straightaway, the car is still behind me. I'm checking my rearview mirrors to ever see if they leave, and there are a lot of different streets they could turn down, but they don't. They keep following me. So I take my first turn, and then my second, and then my third. And this guy's still following me in a new residential area so far away from the one we were just at. For some reason, they just don't want to leave me alone. At first, I tried to play it off like, oh, so scary, whatever. And then I realized as I took another turn that they were still following me. And now they were following me down an area that had almost no streetlights, and I started to panic. Unfortunately, this is one of the clips that got corrupted, so while I don't have the actual video footage, I do have the audio that was recorded on my dash cam. In this audio, you can literally hear me trying to play it off as a joke and then get really, really freaked out. Go ahead, take a quick listen.
Oh, that's very scary. Oh my god, this is fucking wild. Oh, this is my nightmare. This is my nightmare. I don't like this. Oh no.
Take the next left onto...
Okay, we're okay. Oh my god. Oh no. I literally can't tell if anybody's coming.
Finally, after 20 minutes, they left and I was in the clear to continue heading to my third destination. Now, my third destination was this right here. I know it doesn't look like much, but this area is about as close as you can get to a gated community of millionaires without actually having a gate. In these kinds of neighborhoods, because people don't park on the side of the road because they have driveways, the roads are really narrow. And I mean literally one car this way, narrow. So because of that, I wasn't really able to stop, but I also don't really like stopping in front of people's houses too, because it just makes me feel a little weird and I don't want to get the cops called on me for like scoping out someone's house. So I eventually went to the very end of it. There was another cul-de-sac. I start turning around. I turned off my phone's GPS and I made sure my cameras were rolling as best they could. And I started trying to find my way home. Here is how that went. So now I'm just driving around trying to figure out where I am and how to get home. I know exactly where I'm at, and it's literally a straight shot to get back to my house. Oh, you know what I just realized is I might be going the wrong way. I did know exactly where I was, sort of. I did turn the wrong way down the street, and I've ended up in a completely different city. But I know where I am now, so the challenge of getting home isn't like too big of a deal, which is fine. Honestly, this was just really, really fun, and I wanted to get out of the house, and I also just got to get out of my head a little bit, because sometimes you just gotta drive and not think about anything. But yeah, I have ended up at a gas station that is like a city away from me. I turned the wrong way down the road, and I'm gonna head back now. I will talk to you guys more when I get home. Obviously, I am back at my house. I made it home just fine. For some reason, Randonautica kept taking me down roads I had been down before, or at least it wasn't taking me very far away from my house. Don't really know why. Mostly because you can set your radius to like 10 kilometers, which is like 6 miles. And like definitely within 6 miles of my house, there's a lot of places I could have really easily gotten lost. But it kept taking me right back to streets that I had already known and driven down plenty of times before. It's really easy for me to get lost, so I don't know why I didn't. Randonautica knows me too well and wants to keep me down the same roads I've been before. I'm not really sure about that. I did really quickly want to pull a card, mostly because I'm curious. I'm gonna pull this one right here. What is your message? Justice. Justice. The choices we make shape who we are. Justice does not treat her task lightly, and the balance scales indicate she is weighing all of the options before her. You have to take responsibility for every choice you make. If you drift through life without examining your choices and what they say about you and your values, you'll never be truly self-aware, and you may find yourself treating others with dishonesty and unfairness. There may be a difficult issue that you need to examine or a social responsibility you've been neglecting. It's time to stand up and it's time to do the right thing. So after all of that, I did a lot of reflecting and I know what the tarot cards were saying now. Of course, it has to do with this challenge. I wanted to do this challenge because I thought it would be fun and interesting, but in doing so, I neglected not only my own safety, but the safety of others as well. I've endorsed something that I now understand can be dangerous. This has thankfully been an example of what can happen when things go very, very, very right. But we all know the world is very scary and unpredictable, and things could have gone wrong for me so quickly. I'm not going to tell you not to use the Randonautica app because I know it's very well loved and the creators put so much of their heart and passion into it. But I am going to remind you to be cautious, careful, and aware of your surroundings at all times when you are using this app. You don't always know what's out there, and you don't know what consequences could be waiting for you just around the corner. I put a warning at the start of this video, but please listen to me here. Do not try this challenge. Do not do this at home. I want you to stay safe. I don't want you to get lost and put yourself in potential danger. If you're somewhere unfamiliar, please use all of your resources, your phone GPS, anything to get yourself back home safe. I felt confident in doing this myself because I honestly just get lost all the time, even with a GPS. And because of all that, I have my own little workarounds on how to quickly find a highway and how to get home fast. I still wanted to put this out there because I put so much hard work into getting these stupid files back, but I also wanted to show that Randonautica isn't always scary. It can just be fun and lighthearted, but in having my own fun, I neglected my own safety. And honestly, it was stupid of me not to even consider any of that. So please, do not be like me, do not do this, and do not get yourself lost. I want you guys to stay safe because really and truly, I love you guys. Stay home, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.